program, please.
The word of God in 1 Timothy chapter 2 verse 1 to 2 says, I urge them first of all that petitions, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for all people, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peacefully and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. O gracious God, we give you thanks for your overflowing generosity to us. Thank you for our homes, our families, our workplaces, our friends, and especially for the presence of those gathered here for this special occasion, this book launch on the history and profiles of San Fernando Carnival, written by Philip. We thank you that you have blessed us beyond measure. It is because of your immense love and goodness that we can celebrate this special moment together. May we continue to be good stewards of your creation and of all your talents and blessings. We invoke God's blessings on the mayor's office, God's blessings upon the entire staff, God's blessings on all benefactors, and on all those who contributed to this special book launch. We pray today for increased wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. We pray that we will always be aware that all gifts come from God, and that we will serve the Lord in every word and deed. God's abundant blessings upon us this morning. Amen.
Please have your seats. His Worship the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Grallo and Mrs. Grallo, Minister of Trade and Industry, Senator the Honorable Paula Lopez-Spoon, former Minister of Culture, Joe Williams, Chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Winston Gypsy Peters, Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Bands Association, and Director of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Museum, Ms. Rosalind Gabriel, President of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization, Mr. Ainsley King, Secretary of Pan Trinbago, Ms. Denise Hernandez, Deputy Mayor, Alderman Dr. Ferry Diana Hussein, CEO of the San Fernando City Corporation, Mrs. Kathy Ann Mills-Mark, and Deputy CEO of the San Fernando City Corporation, Ms. Heather Crawford, members of administration, former members of council, Chairman of the South San Fernando Area Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Kiran Singh, Superintendent Harry Prasad of the San Fernando Municipal Police, distinguished members of the Pan and Mass community, specially invited guests, members of the media, good morning. And thank you all for your attendance today at our newest and most exciting endeavor, the launch of Ayedemah. I am Faith Gelzo, Executive Assistant to His Worship the Mayor, and I will be your MC today. Moving swiftly along into our program, our first address will be a welcome from the convener of Carnival of the San Fernando Carnival Committee, Mr. Nigel Joseph.
Thank you very much, Miss Universe Trinidad and Tobago. His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Grallo. Minister of Trade and Industry, Senator the Honorable Paula Lopez-Spoon, my favorite minister. Chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Mr. Winston Gypsy Peters. The protocol here is a little crazy because I am a member of the TTCBA, so I have to acknowledge my Vice President, Ms. Rosalind Gabriel, President of the TUCO, Mr. Ainsley King, my Pan Trinbago people, Ms. Denise Hernandez, and my former boss, and President of the South Pan Trinbago, Mr. Philip Parker, Deputy Mayor, other members of the 11th Council, Madam CEO, my Honorable Madam CEO, and Deputy CEO, Mr. Kiran Singh. I so let's get this mixed up. President of the Greater San Fernando Chamber of Commerce. When I look in the audience, I see more of my culture people. I see the culturals, I see the Javisas, I see the new generation, Mr. Charles, also known as Bruiser, Medal of Merit winner, and a sort of national award. It's my honor to do the welcome. A simple task. But as His Worship, as the MC said, one of my duties on the 11th Council was to be the convener of Carnival. A thankless job. But just Saturday, I had the honor of going to the Carnival prize giving. Saturday the 22nd, a month after we in San Fernando paid, Carnival now paid. And some of the band leaders there thanked me that the children bandidos in San Fernando got paid in March, and we pay the other members in June. Port of Spain paid last week. Cuba paid Saturday. Chaguanas yet to be paid. But we in San Fernando paid the first. And somebody came and said, how that's possible? I said, you have a convener that born in the belly of the Carnival, and you have his worship, who is culture, who is not a politician, is not a man, is a pan-man first. Under his tenure, we had the Year of Culture. We renamed streets after cultural icons. And we have the rebirth of City Week, and now we have the launch of Ayedemah. He brought this idea to council through another one of my portfolios in in the Chairman of Arts and Culture. And I remember we have a historian / poet by the name of Robert Victor, who's always talking about the golden age of culture. And I remember he was talking about we need to record this, and I think this was a fantastic idea. So I, along with all members of council, supported this idea of recording our carnival. But I'm also the chairman of finance for the last, deputy chair of finance for the last 10 years. So after that meeting, I quickly went down to his worship and said, but how are we funding this book? Because we don't have a vote for publication of our book. And he said, Nigel, remember what Friday says? I said, yes, our MPs always say, just start. He said, let us just do it. I said, but I very fun with money. I said, where are we getting money? He said, don't worry, not a cent will be spent from the corporation. That said, the book started. So, as I said, the book started, and we are here today, along with other members of the 11th Council, to launch this legacy book, because as Worship said, this book and the next book that we are supposed to launch within 2 weeks would be our legacy. And I'm here to welcome you to the launch of Ayedemah.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. And at this time, we will be departing a little bit from the program as we welcome our first bit of entertainment. So please put your hands together as we welcome Lady Adana to the stage.
Thank you very much, Fernando. Good morning to all distinguished guests and especially invited guests. It's my pleasure to be here while I chat with you until you reach us back at those winding sticks.
Some say that it's wrong, but I can't see
hear when I sing, because out of the backyard, calypso rising, 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 rising. We're throwing off that old time style, putting on a brand new smile. We're rising out of the ghetto of third world stagnation. We're reaching for tomorrow with a world vibration. My calypso heading for stardom real quick, because it's world music. Rhythm and blues, yes, jazz and reggae. Look, they all pay their dues in much the same way. Yet every day, they keep evolving and finding more ways. So keep on revolving. Otherwise, men must say we'll be stuck in a pit. If on the back of progress we try to see it. So tell them people as I take my calypso music to the mountain. Let every drop of it hear when I sing, because out of the backyard, calypso rising. We throwing up that old time style, we putting on a brand new smile. We rising out of the ghetto towards stagnation. We're reaching for tomorrow with a world vibration. My calypso heading for stardom real quick, because it's world music. Hit me with the rhythm, let it fill me soul. Hit me with the rhythm. No, there's so much fun to pain and tears, and still we travel on through freedom. Yet no more a storm, just to please the master Lord. We travel on, and yes, we cross the river. I heard a wise man say that colonialism will reduce culture to altar and become talent. Not my guys who take my calypso music to the mountain. Yes, let every drop of it hear when I sing, because out of the backyard, calypso rising. We throwing up that old time style, we putting on a brand new smile. We rising out of the ghetto of third world stagnation. We're reaching for tomorrow with a world vibration. My calypso heading for stardom real quick. Why? My calypso heading for stardom real quick. Why? My calypso heading for stardom real quick. Why? My calypso heading for stardom real quick. It's world music. My calypso. Thank you very much. Before, as I saw the smile in the mayor's face, performance is equal talk everything. That's just that's a personal joke. I was asked to do a little favor, and when bloods connect, you can't say no. No matter how hard you might want to, you know what that is mean? Have you ever experienced that? You want to say no, but you can't say no because the love too strong to say no. I love you. And I love how you have served San Fernando. You can't get next level. You know, in Calypso, when you put on a good show, is who coming after that? Anyway, let me be here. And this one is for you. No, I need a red one because I don't have a track for that. I can't take this tension. It's too hard to mention. But I spent too small for the carnival. Don't know what will happen in this 77. It's people like rain down in Water Spain. The street hot, Bedford street hot, Charlotte street hot. We just can't stop. Join me. What you say? I'm going down San Fernando. Down they have plenty tempo. At a steel orchestra jamming sweet. I'm going to join San Fernandians and go down Coffee Street. So give me more tempo. With the chorus again. One more time. I'm going down San Fernando. Down they have plenty tempo. Skiffle steel orchestra jamming sweet. I'm going to join San Fernandians and go down Coffee Street. So give me more tempo. Thank you very much.
You can imagine my dismay when she said she feels sorry for the person who has to come after, and I realized it was me. But for a welcome to San Fernando as warm as we could have hoped on this very rainy day, I feel we have to give Lady Adana another round of applause. At this time, I would like to welcome to bring remarks on behalf of Pan Trinbago, the Secretary of Pan Trinbago, Ms. Denise Hernandez.
Good morning to all. His Worship the Mayor of San Fernando, Hollis Junior. Our featured speaker, the Minister of Trade and Industry, Senator the Honorable Paul of the School. All protocols observed. This is a red letter day for the city of San Fernando. A book which describes the legacy of its carnival. We all know about Carnival, and most times it's featured about Carnival in Port of Spain. But for us in San Fernando, our Carnival has always been a special one. Especially since our Carnival has a feature that we did not see in many other areas, which is the Red Indian Mass. I can speak about that because I'm a San Fernando. And I remember that Mass very well. And I remember promising myself that one day when I get bigger, I will come and play a Red Indian Mass because I love the feathers. So a legacy book, Ayedemah, which talks about one of those aspects of San Fernando Carnival, is critical and is important, especially today when we have a lot of our young people who need to understand and be aware of what Carnival really means and what Carnival truly is to Trinidad and Tobago. And I commend the mayor for taking the step and showing maybe the other mayors that legacy books on Carnival is critical to the continuing legacy of Trinidad and Tobago being the mother of our area where the mother of our carnivals exist. It is also, I will take just a brief diversion, a red letter day for our steel pan. Because as some of you may be aware, at the United Nations today, the General Assembly is going to declare August 11th as World Steel Pan Day. A red letter day for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But coming back to Carnival, we have so many facets of Carnival that we need to make sure that our visitors to this country appreciate, see, and our citizens believe in and live the dream of keeping Carnival, our style of Carnival, our historical Carnival, what the world will want to see. So I congratulate the Mayor, I congratulate Mr. Howard Phillip on this book, and I look forward to getting a copy and reading it, because I am a proud San Fernandian. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. As we continue to congratulate the Mayor and the author of the book, Mr. Howard Phillip, we must also congratulate the San Fernando City Corporation and the CEO of the San Fernando City Corporation, Ms. Ayedemah, without whom none of this would have been possible, of course. And inviting next to the speaker as we move along, we will have an address from the Trinbago Unified Calypsonians Organization, or TUCO. We will be inviting the chairman of South TUCO, who's already on the stage, very brisk indeed, Mr. Steve Pascal.
Good morning, one and all. This is about the 1000th time I stand up on the stage here in the history of San Fernando. It would be remiss of me if I didn't do this. I hear people saying, "Oh, San Fernando so dead. When they come from foreign, prefer to line pot a spade instead. So they send for Prince Charming, a man of integrity, and with just a kiss, the Prince awoke in Charming City. So we sing in Sando alive. That is what the people say. Sando alive. From Sejus to Claxton Bay, Sando alive. This carnival here will stay. Sando alive. We ain't living South no way. Southerners, we all agree, we not living we city. Because San Fernando is the backbone of TNT. So now that we get that part out of the way, I want to say a special good morning again to one and all, to His Worship of San Fernando. Salutations to you, my brother. Please allow me all other protocols to be observed. They asked me to bring greetings briefly. My dictionary tells me brief is a short duration. So I must say on behalf of my president, Mr. Ainsley King, who has to take up some other duties in Tobago this morning. You know, we're going through the silly season, election style, campaigning, not only for local government, but we have election to go next month, the 19th and the 20th, so you can imagine everybody busy to keep the post. So I want to say this morning that it's really indeed a pleasure on behalf of the Trinbago Unified Calypsonian Organization to bring this short remark. Ayedemah, what a fitting name. I can remember Keith Cook introduced me to Carnival in San Fernando as a young guy. If I call him, yeah, all you know me age. So I ain't calling no, yeah. I didn't get no headpiece, but I get a nice piece of Indian costume. And I could remember chipping down the curve. Ayedemah, help me here, Gypsy. Ayedemah, and that was it. So that word is very fitting. I think that word chose a beautiful name. You know, one thing I could always say that in San Fernando, East Indian or Indian mass, while Indian, Black Indian, whatever, played a predominant role. You know, I could remember in those periods through man like Mark Copeland and Mr. Maynard and all these other guys doing the fire dance coming down, you know. So this book really is very interesting. This morning, we are privileged to have some of the most talented people in the three great aspects of Carnival, Mass, Calypso, and Pan. And it's really a distinguished pleasure for me here to bring the greetings on my organizations. You know, as South Chairman of TUCO as well, I want to say we have been on this compound for the past 30 years. And I want to say to the San Fernando City Corporation, you guys have really done a tremendous work. As used the terms, I have been here on this compound for the past 7 years. So it tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. From Hazel Rogers Dick to Mr. Junior Rodrello. And I must say, he didn't ask me to say this, but culturally, he's one of the baddest in that field as a mayor representing. I don't know how they just do it, 4th term, but they say you can't do that, commanders, when you treated us again. So sad to say that I hope in whatever field of endeavor he extends his life into, that he carry the same fervor, you know, the same tenacious way, the same toughness and the same attitude and love for culture wherever he go. So I must say by going, long live Kaiso, long live Kaiso, long live Kaiso. Stand firm for your culture by Calypso. What stories are told, eh? Remember that.
Thank you, Mr. Pascal. In the fraternity of mass and culture and PAN, so many of you wear so many hats, and our next speaker is no exception to this, as we welcome the Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Bands Association and Director of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Museum, Ms. Rosalind Gabriel.
Thank you very much, Faith. His Worship the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello, Minister of Trade and Industry, Senator the Honorable Paula Opie School, the Chairman of the National Carnival Commission with Sir Gypsy Peters, Pan Trinbago Secretary Ms. Denise Hernandez, President of TUCO South, Mr. Pascal, CEO of San Fernando City Corporation, and Deputy CEO of San Fernando City Corporation, members of administration, former members of administration, former members of council, distinguished members of the PAN and Mass fraternity, specially invited guests and members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Greetings on the occasion of the book launch, Ayedemah, History and Profiles of San Fernando Carnival. On behalf of the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Bands Association, I extend warm greetings to you, esteemed dignitaries and all participants present at this auspicious occasion of the book launch. It is with great pleasure and pride that we celebrate this momentous event, making another significant chapter in the rich tapestry of our beloved national festival. Mayor, we commend you and the visionary team for the foresight in producing this invaluable publication and capturing the essence and vibrancy of the San Fernando Carnival. As the Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Museum enters its second year of existence, we acknowledge the importance of preserving our cultural heritage, and this book undoubtedly contributes immensely to this noble endeavor. Carnival is an integral part of our nation's identity, transcending generations with its exuberant revelry, artistic expressions, and unifying spirit. It is a celebration that unites our diverse communities and showcases our creativity to the world. The Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Museum is delighted to witness the growing efforts in archiving memories, photographs, films, publications, and various historical artifacts with our treasured festival. The TTCBA, representing the Mass fraternity and our esteemed members, extends our heartfelt congratulations to all those involved in bringing Ayedemah to fruition. Through this publication, the profound history and captivating profiles of the San Fernando Carnival will undoubtedly be preserved for generations to come. We express our sincere gratitude for the invitation to share greetings on this occasion. May Ayedemah stand as a testament to our enduring cultural heritage and serve as an inspiration for future generations to embrace and cherish the legacy of Trinidad and Tobago Carnival. Once again, congratulations to you and your team. and may the San Fernando Carnival continue to thrive and flourish under the corporation's leadership. And we hope in Port of Spain to take a page out of this book, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Port of Spain can take a little bit more than a page, as we all look forward to seeing a copy of the book in the Carnival Museum moving forward, of course. Thank you so much, Ms. Gabriel. And our next speaker will be the chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Mr. Winston Gypsy Peters. Can we give him a very warm welcome?
Thank you very much for your kind introduction. Minister of Trade and Industry, Scholar Gopi School, His Worship the Mayor of the City of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Guerrero, distinguished members of the San Fernando City Corporation, Vice President of TTCBA, Ms. Rosalind Gabriel, Chairman of the South Central Calypsonian, Trinbago Calypso, Unified Calypsonians Organization, Mr. Stephen Pascal, RAS Commander, all artisans of Carnival, and indeed our cultural fraternity, other specially invited and honored guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the National Carnival Commission of Trinidad and Tobago, I thank you for the opportunity to share a few words in support of this very special presentation. From all accounts, Ayedemah, history and profiles of San Fernando Carnival will undoubtedly become a major part of San Fernando's literary and cultural canon. So, as I begin my remarks, by extending congratulations to all involved in this signature achievement, in giving thanks for the many skilled hands and minds responsible for this book existence, I also take this moment to pledge our fullest support in doing what we can to help keep the momentum going. I believe that we can all agree on an ultimate goal of Ayedemah being a staple of our libraries, schools, homes, and across this proud nation of ours. And this is possible because of the significant value it brings, because of the incalculable worth it possesses. As an anthology, it preserves and catalogs many carnival traditions and stories, effectively saving them from extinction. As a cultural memoir, it adds to the untold tapestry that is Trinidad and Tobago Carnival by bringing perspectives from one of its major hubs. I would say the best hub, San Fernando. The fabled home of traditional and conventional mass titans like Mac Copeland, a good partner, Jackie Kuhnhau, Lionel Sitting Bull Jagasa Sr., and Ivan Kalicheran. Headquarters of Skiffle Bunch, NLCB Fun Club, and Sand City, to name a few. And the birthplace of Calypso, extempo and soca legends like the Lord Invader, Lord Melody, Brian London, Black Stallion, Kess, and Marshall. They're good to call yourself. So I leave out myself. Yes. I'm a proud San Fernandian myself, born in Mayaro. Make no mistake, San Fernando remains one of the nation's most culturally and artistically wealthy communities. UI communities whose contribution to our carnival, historical development, growing strength and popularity have been nothing short of invaluable and spectacular. Now, thanks in great part to this publication, we have another means of protecting and preserving that heritage for future generations. We have a unique opportunity to see and learn more about San Fernando's contribution firsthand. And yes, Rosalind, I think we would imbue your library with one of these because we don't want our history to be lost. We commend the vision, talent, and commitment displayed in bringing Ayedemah to life. And I think we deserve to give Mr. Duarte Philip a lusty round of applause. And also the foresight of our dear and beloved mayor for ensuring, and the San Fernando Corporation for ensuring that all of this is done in a timely fashion. We recognize that it has truly been a labor of love. On behalf of the National Carnival Commission, congratulations to all parties for their role in getting us today and in taking us forward. I want to especially commend His Worship Alderman Regrello and the entire San Fernando City Corporation on a job well done in bringing Ayedemah to the people. Special thanks to all the contributing authors and poets for sharing their time, energy, and love of carnival and culture so freely and openly. Lastly, thanks to the people of San Fernando, past and present, for their critical role in the city standing proud and tall. Ladies and gentlemen, as remarkable as this achievement is, I believe that the next step is for Ayedemah to serve as a blueprint for other communities to follow. With more than 50 regional carnivals across the nation, one can only imagine the sheer diversity of stories that dwell within, the depths and breadth of lived experience, which forms part of our carnival narrative, are simply waiting for a chance to be properly told, shared, and appreciated. Much like San Fernando is being done today, simply as few as my words may be, I hope my words have added value to today's celebration of a milestone achievement and a continuation of literary excellence. I hope that in expressing our support and appreciation, others are encouraged to come forth with their carnival stories. Because this is how we build and develop our culture. This is how we preserve our tradition and heritage. This is how we grow your people and your nation. It has been said that if you don't know where you come from, then you don't know where you are. And if you don't know where you are, then you don't know where you are going. Ayedemah has given us a good look at where San Fernando has been, has also given us, this nation, a glimpse at where we are and where we should aspire to be. I want to take this opportunity again to congratulate all involved in this truly remarkable achievement. Your Worship, I would like to digress just a little bit myself. Since we are in the throes of emancipation, and I have been leading for years now a one-man protest for us in Trinidad and Tobago to rename Emancipation Day African Emancipation Day. And I make no apology for doing it, and I say it now again, and I hope that we have people with influence in this audience who would also join me in us having African Emancipation Day. We were here 200 years before anybody else, and I think it's only fitting that we do that. So I want to say again, thank you all very much for what you have done here for us, your worship, and thanks on behalf of the National Carnival Commission. God bless you.
And as we talk about the city of San Fernando and the San Fernando City Corporation forging the path for other communities and other cities to take note of in commemorating our culture and our history, we must recognize the captain at the helm of the ship, who has made so much of this possible through his own passion for the project. It is my pleasure to bring to the stage my boss, His Worship, the Mayor of San Fernando, Alderman Junior Regrello.
Thank you. For those of you who are unfamiliar, she's ranked, I think, number 11 so far in the race for Miss Universe. She made the city of San Fernando proud for 3 weeks ago. I think it was at Queen's Hall. But not only did we win the first prize, we won first and second. San Fernando West was first and San Fernando was second. So not only do we have brains in San Fernando, we have beauty in San Fernando as well. So it's easy for me to, much easier for me to say friends as opposed to the long salutation. So friends, we here this morning for a very special occasion. Now let me begin by reflecting on something that bothered me for many, many years. There's a peculiar dichotomy between Port Spain and San Fernando. And Denise somewhat touched on it when she spoke. Desmond, Clifton and I went into Port Spain as custom clerk, young men. I was about 16 years old. Desmond was 17. And to interact with Port Spain was a cultural shock to me. Because Port Spain docks where we operated had 8 sheds. And every shed you go to, you met a celebrity in the art form. So you met Pretender, you met David Waddle, who was the captain of Starlet, you met Joseph Renner, who was the captain of Solar Harmonites, you met Zuzi, who was a well-known, iconic person in the art form. I met Fishai and his brother Desmond. And this new all-star stalwarts and Prince Batson, they were foundation members of all-stars. And those are the people that we interacted with on a daily basis. What that did, and as I went on, I met people like Astor Johnson and interacted with Astor on a regular basis. What that did, it created a thinking in me that was different. And what also impressed me was the camaraderie and support and the loyalty that they had for each other. They can speak about the history of Port Spain and how Port Spain evolved culturally, who did what, how they did it, who put the first wheel on a pan, who covered the stand, who put a feather on this, who put a feather on that. And they spoke about it with pride, not with envy, with jealousy. They had a collective approach about how we should do things. And that is the objective and the purpose of this book. We have a responsibility in San Fernando because we're standing on the shoulders of so many others who came before us and shaped the landscape that is unrecognized. In the year 2020, in the midst of COVID and the struggle that our practitioners were going through, the council and I came up with a decision. Let's honor all our performers, and we declared that year the year of the arts. We went to church, went to the Susumachart Presbyterian Church, and we were given a citation, an award, but we also had a check in the envelope. I'm not seeing Mrs. Bisnat here this morning, but Junior Bisnat and his wife was shocked that they actually got a check and they could do something. Well, I'm not saying it because it was charity, but at least they appreciated and they were able to acknowledge the contribution made by us. And it's coming out of that exercise, I told Dawa that I wanted to see them. Dawa came and we sat. And I've been toying with the idea, how do we find a solution to the problems that we have? Who is the person with the understanding, has the capacity to reflect what San Fernando has done and the contribution that we have made over the years? But I'm a little younger than Dewad. I am a San Fernandian, and I know Dewad going up behind Stranson and one over Upper Street, walking around with a file and a pencil drawing things, and I know he went abroad, and he came back and looked. So let me see if I can talk to Dawad. Now, those of you who know Dawad well, unless you are creative, it is difficult to have a conversation with Dawad. Because Dawad will use, go back like this. It will take him 10 minutes to respond, because he's a creator. And if you don't understand, you're going to have a problem. Dawad and I we had a great relationship. However, we struggled with the administration, because this book went through 3 CEOs, 2 legal secretary, 3 treasurer, and everyone had a different view on what should be done. And we just sold the order. So after lunch, I think his wife was away at the time, I will order lunch, we go down to his house, and we sit there from morning until the evening, just discussing San Fernando and how it used to be, and the glory days of San Fernando. And I must say that I owe Dawad a little gratitude for bringing this book to where it is and making it. It is unfortunate that our young people don't understand the value that we have that's documented here. Because we have some young people who think they know but they don't know. And nor are they interested in knowing, because they've got caught up with technology. Technology can bring back what we had. Nobody knows what it's like to have grown up in San Fernando in the 60s and the 70s. And some of you here looking at someone know what that. I grew up in Vistabella, and Southern Marines came from Marabella. So we would wait on Kane Street to hitch on the Southern Marines to go down into the town. And on the way back, we'll wait at Lime Corner for Southern Marines to take us back home. Southern Marines was a massive band in the 60s. Nobody had the idea of the contribution Southern Marines made to the art form band in San Fernando. There's a fellow called Squeezer, Milton Lyons. Milton Lyons was the captain of Southern Marines, and he was standing on the train line one day, and the train came down and stopped to offload passengers, and there was Chris Simon playing a part. Milton was about 14 years old. He stood up, followed the train and followed Chris Simon to San Fernando, and copied and marked everything that he saw, and went back home and made a pan, and continued making pans. And because of Milton's Lyons' commitment, Bertrand Kellman was a product of Milton Lyons and the Southern Marines. The first national steel band formed in 1965 had 5 San Fernando players, 2 from Southern Marines, including Bertrand Kellman, including Rafi Taffy from Sundowns, Steve Regis from Sundowns, and Bobby Muhammad from Guinness Cavaliers. So we would have made our contribution. The feeling that we had playing with bands of those days was amazing. This may sound strange to you, but when we stand at the corner and we want to know where the bands are, but you know what we did? We put our ear to the ground, to the barber green, and we listened. And you could actually hear the beat of the bass and the band. Anybody want to doubt that? Anybody know what I'm saying is true? This is what we did. And we see that the band is coming up High Street. The band is done with Graposhi, the band. That's what we did. So there's a rich legacy of history that needs to be documented, and finally we have it on paper. During the 50s, we made some success when we won our first Queen of the Bands competition. It was held in 1956 at Queen's Hall. The winner was Esther Theodore. She crossed the stage playing a costume designed by Clem George. The tune that she danced to was a record by La Petite Musical. The name of the song was Mango. It was Stuart Waters. That was 1956, our first successive competition. In 1962, under Mark Copeland, we won Queen of the Bands again for the Spain with Esther Theodore. 1960 was a good period for us because a 22-year-old young steel leader named Bobby Muhammad went to Port of Spain and beat the pants off Guinness Cavaliers. and went back in 1967 and did it again. Farid Sultan Khan came third in King of the Bands in 1967 when we won Band of the Year, when we won one round. And also Joan Green came second in King of the Bands in Port of Spain. So we had a good era, which that era of the 60s. Well, of course, 1970s were the best for us. Because in 1970s, we had, by that time, Carnival started to fade. And you had the rise of Steve Achaiba and Hatters, 20-1 in 1974, second place, losing to Jericho by Soul Harmonites, 1975 winning with Spree Simon, 1976 coming second with Josh Brothers when they played Coming Home, Josh Brothers played Bad in Harmony. Right? But that type of consistency we were able to hold our end. And when you mention 1975, who could ever forget that San Fernando bands came first, second, and fourth. And I'll always say this, the only reason Tokyo came to, but they came on stage with Spree Simon and our DJ. Of course, journalists couldn't ignore that. So that type of dominance we had in that era. And of course, we all know what happened in the 80s with Fun Player and Pan My Store. But I'm hoping that this document could allow us to return to the glory days that inspire young people to work hard, because it is the way it can be done. But we need to have that level of commitment and passion, and it can be done. So there's so much in that book that will impress us and make us feel proud. I want to once more congratulate and thank the Ward for his contribution and his family, who also labored with this exercise to allow this to be what it is. And also thank the City Corporation for giving us the support, and the members of council who, as Nigam said, I think Nigam didn't remember, when he said, how are we going to do it? I said, Nigam, once there's a will, there's a way. This book is a classic, I must tell you. Doan and I left San Fernando with an idea, I went to Port of Spain, and we couldn't get anybody that could do the quality of book that we wanted. One place in Mohan told us that you can't get the paper, just shortage of paper. And one must remember, this was during the days of COVID, where traveling and freight and airfreight was very, very difficult. So we took the long way and the hard way. This book is coming from China. It is costly. It will retail at $400. I know that Greater Chamber here is interested in purchasing about 40 or 50 copies. The young lady back, the Sapphire this way behind the rest of who you are. She's taking advanced booking, and she give a receipt if you have cash. We're doing online booking as the case may be, because I don't know that we're going to make money from this, but it has integrity, and it has purpose, and it requires support. So I'm making special appeal for you all to support it. What happened is that there was a little error with the table of content, which was not in the book. And when we found out about it, we contacted the word, you know, even though it would take a 2-week delay, let us put it in. And I agreed and accepted, so we have a 2-week delay for delivery. But it's here for your perusal, and as I said before, it's fantastic. Once more, thank you for listening, and thank you for your contribution.
Thank you, Your Worship, and just to reiterate what he said, we will be taking pre-orders for the book. There's a young lady in the back with her list ready and eager to take these orders, and we do of course invite you to peruse the copy that we have on display in front. One of the big aspects of this book is Pan, and our next entertainer is as true a Pan man as there can be, someone who is breathing new life and youth into the instrument, making young people not just excited about, but proud of their national instrument. Do we have any guesses? Maybe just one. Just one. Anybody? Well, I would like to bring to the stage a true son of San Fernando, Joshua Regrello.
That's what we're talking about.
All right, good morning, check. Everybody can hear me? If you can hear me, somebody say yeah.
No, you
can't hear me.
Great, if you can hear me, say yeah. If you can hear me, say Sando. If you can hear me, say Panman, you're real sweet. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I'm going to do a song for you. It's about 2 months old. But don't be alarmed, I feel like you may know it. If you know it, sing along. If you don't know it, pretend. Right? We can do that. Today we're celebrating, so we're going to celebrate life. We're going to pay tribute to this song. And special mention to Uncle Larry that passed away recently. And let's go, Mr. Volley all the way up, Mr. Solani. All the way up. Let me see the note.
wasn't sure if I was hearing you all right backstage, but it sounded like going down San Fernando, down there have plenty temple, City Hall, City Panman, really sweet. That was what you all said? I heard some of you all for sure, some of you all sounded like you weren't sure. But for a lucky one of you, you can catch him outside in the car park as you move your vehicle. PCY 6024. Please attend to your vehicle.
Are you a vehicle?
Alrighty, thank you so much, Joshua Regrello. As we move right along to our featured speaker, I would like to welcome the Minister of Trade and Industry, Senator the Honorable Paula Obisu.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And let me say what a wonderful way to start the Monday. It's a great Monday morning here to be in San Fernando. And I'll acknowledge Junior Reverendo, the Honorable, is worship the Mayor of San Fernando and his dear web camera as well. I want to acknowledge Duarte Phillips' wife, and who's there, and your sister, his sister. Wonderful to have you represent him as well. All other protocols observed. I know so many of you in the room, everyone is important. Lots of friends. I'm from Point 14, you know that, right? And but I know a lot about San Fernando. This is where I went to school. I went to St. Joseph's Convent right across the road.
Wow.
And of course, just behind me would be where we would do our masses at Our Lady of Perpetual Help. And of course, just down the road in Pendleton Street, I remember running down there on my 17th birthday to get my learner's permit. So, a lot of good memories, and I recall Mass in May on High Street as well. I won't tell you in whose company I was, but it's so much a part of me as well. And I want to thank the lady who gave us a rendition of Calypso Rising by Gregory Valentine, who was lovely, and Calypso Roses, So all of you, I'm honored to be here with you in San Fernando this morning as we launch this latest publication by Duarte Philip, a proud San Fernandian and a man of whom San Fernando is justifiably proud. And Junior, you are a Carnival historian yourself, and you spoke so well of him as well. And allow me to offer sincerest apologies on behalf of my cabinet colleague Camille Robson-Regis, who unavoidably also actually couldn't make it. Could not be present here today, but sends her affectionate regards and happy to be here. And as I listen to the remarks from those representing the different aspects of culture, pan and mass and calypso, I recall my own experiences of culture in San Fernando, of performances at the now refurbished Lacrima Bowl, and more recently the Southern Academy of Performing Arts. And I recall the many events at the now upgraded Skinner Park, and reminded myself that this is San Fernando, the cradle of culture in Trinidad and Tobago. And one of the greatest figures of American literature, Benjamin Franklin, once said, "Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing." And in a country where, despite the galloping pace of technological innovation, we are still largely an oral society, passing down history and traditions through stories and anecdotes. The opportunity, therefore, to delve into a book such as Ayedemah, History and Profiles of the San Fernando Carnival, is a welcome event. And this book represents not just a personal accomplishment for the author and the people of San Fernando, it represents an achievement for the people of Trinidad and Tobago in having documented for the first time the authentic and narrative-correcting history of mass and culture in San Fernando. And Port of Spain now has to follow. In adding to the national bibliography, this book also highlights one of the deficiencies that we must overcome as we progress on this road of nationhood. The author captures that deficiency best when he says, and I quote, "It should be noted that not one page of this archival material was available from city records outside the mayor's personal collection. The sources of information came mostly from personal accounts and interactions, interviews and rare discoveries of family heirlooms, souvenir journals and newspapers, clippings, etc. But how much more would have been lost or unsalvageable due mostly to indifference and sad failure to value our tangible history. And located in that lament is a cry, I believe, for greater attention to be paid to the documenting of our history in its many forms, but even more so for us to truly value that history and culture that make us so unique. And I must confess that the first thing that captivated my interest about this book, and I've been reading it all along the way, and even sitting here, is its very name and what that name represented. A book about Carnival and Mass, a festival that was birthed largely by the former African slaves' desire to thumb their noses at the colonial elite that had them kept in bondage for many years, has as its title a call and response that is distinctly Native Indian. Ayedemah, I'm advised, means we are a proud nation, and indeed that is what we are, and that is equally what is San Fernando. A proud city that has appropriated the glitz and glamour of the bikini mass and married it with the elaborate and magnificent portrayals of traditional Indian mass. Indeed, and what is somewhat fading in Port of Spain, is alive and well in the city of San Fernando. His worship, the Mayor Alderman Junior Regrello, who is himself captured in this book, notes in agreement that Carnival Tuesday in San Fernando was always dominated by Indian mass, fancy and original, a tradition that continues to this day. These costumes are high in demand on the international carnival circuit. Ayedemah represents who we are, a commingling of our cultures, a celebration of our struggles and our victories, and an unearthing of the vast reservoir of creativity that lies within us as a people, an array of hope for those who mourn the loss of the soul of the carnival. Ayedemah says, though, the mass is not over. And in his foreword, the author quotes the American writer Janet Mock, who said, I believe that telling our stories first to ourselves and then to one another and then to the world is a revolutionary act. It is an act that can be met with hostility, exclusion, and violence, but it can also lead to love, understanding, transcendence, and community, and community is indeed who we are in San Fernando. It is a book written about people and situations that are worth reading about. It is a book that connects San Fernando with themselves, San Fernandians with themselves, with their history and with their characters of that history. It is a book that captures the uniqueness of the San Fernando mass and culture, capturing the many icons, and we heard so much of that today, that have shaped that culture and bringing them to life and doing it for posterity. Equally important, it is a book that shares San Fernando with its readers. It offers insights into the personalities and characters that shape the mass and culture in San Fernando, giving them for the first time the honor and the recognition that they richly deserve. The richness of this book lies in the totality of its representation and the many facets of the San Fernando culture which come to life between its pages. Names whose calling bring with them floods of memories, stand side by side with pictures and photographs long hidden from the national landscape, but carefully curated by those fortunate to have them in their possession. And in this representation of the San Fernando mass and culture, the author takes us on a journey of self-discovery, allowing us the opportunity to see ourselves in the struggles for authenticity, in the deep yearning for something beyond the shallowness of broken and discarded costumes gathered for the final rites at the nation's landfills, to the richness and uniqueness of a mass that could be played repeatedly, each time eliciting a different response and evoking a different memory. And that is San Fernando Mass, and this is San Fernando culture. I have no doubt whatsoever that this book should line the shelves of not of only of every San Fernandian, but every school and public library in Trinidad and Tobago. And I would add that every San Fernandian who lives outside of Trinidad and Tobago as well. And as I peruse its contents, I could tell that it will be a most valuable resource for both scholars and culture aficionados alike. And I urge both the author and the San Fernando City Council to ensure that this becomes a reality. I wish to congratulate the San Fernando City Council and our Mayor Alderman Junior Regrello for their unstinting support of this project, and for all of the sponsors as well. This book was sponsored. This is not government funding, and that's important to note. And it is easy for a council to get mired in the day-to-day activities of box streams and cemeteries and play parks, forgetting that the recording of your history is an equally important task and obligation of any council, and you did it. Indeed, as we forge ahead with the local government reform, this will be an opportune time to begin a dedicated search for documentation, for additional archival material for persons to come forward with their stories, and for more persons like Dawar to come to the fore as the scribes of San Fernando and who we are in the southern capital of Trinidad and Tobago. And I wish to congratulate the author as well for his own dedication to his craft, and for the obvious determination to ensure that the narratives are corrected, that the self-defeating prophecies which bedevil our society in so many ways are banished, and for increasing our capacity for introspection. We thank you. And I know this is not Dwar's first foray into writing on the history of Carnival and to its many unique characters. His work is also recorded in the children's book, Jaden and the King of Brooklyn Carnival, which he co-authored with Yolanda Lizama Clark. And I encourage you to keep on researching, keep on writing, and please, a message to Dawar, keep on publishing. So on behalf of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, a grateful nation, and in particular a thankful San Fernando, I offer my sincerest gratitude to everyone who contributed in any way to the production of this mosaic of culture that can only be of San Fernando. And may God bless and reward each of you for your efforts, and to you especially, Mayor, and your council. I thank you for the courtesy of your attention and wish the abundance of God's blessings on everyone. Let me say, this is indeed a very happy day for San Fernando and for us in the government as well. Thank you very much.
We would like to invite the Minister to stay with us for just 1 second, as we also invite to the stage His Worship the Mayor, Alderman Junior Regrello, the CEO of the San Fernando City Corporation, Mrs. Cardian Mills-Mark, the wife of our author, Dawar Philip, Mrs. Kimo Iketayo Philip, and his sister and assistant, Miss Valerie Soren Figaro, as we have the official handover of the publication.